Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to start a new activity in which we are going to model the human respiratory system. Human respiratory system is consist of multiple products such as lungs, windpipe, trachea, diaphragm, etc. So let's begin. For human respiratory system, I am going to start today with the lungs. To create the lungs, I am going to proceed with the cube itself. Now let's switch to the scale tool and let's change its dimensions a bit. Now here we need to keep one thing in mind that we are going to model this thing from our observation mostly. Of course, we can look at some images for the reference. So here is the one image which I am going to keep in the reference. Okay, and I am going to try to make the lungs somewhat like that. But of course, it's a 2D image from the front view. I don't have access of all the images for other sides. So for those things, I need to work from my observation only. So considering that, I am assuming that for the lung, this is going to be my front design, and the top, one second. So from the top, uh, yeah, I think so. From here, I am going to reduce its thickness because lungs are usually not that much in volume. And if I look it from the side, it looks good enough. So let's keep it till here. All right. Now after this, I'm going to add few segments over here to get that shape as we can see into the image over here. So let's switch to the edit mode quickly and let's use the shortcut for loop cut tool, okay, which is Control R. So if I'll press Control R over here, so I'm going to add around 3 segments for here, then 1 segment over here. Okay, so in the beginning we are just taking very basic number of segments. Of course we can add on later, but we are going to step it up gradually. And on this side I think 2 would be fine. There we go. So I have got these much segments. Now from the front view, okay, I'm going to try to make the shape somewhat like this. Let's switch to the wireframe view and let's select the vertices and try to get that kind of shape. Now you can see that in the case of organic modeling, there is no hard and fast rule to get the shape. You need to observe the shape, okay, and then try to get it very slowly, step by step, like I am doing so. So let's get it over here, then this one. Oops. All right. Oh. Then let's select all of these and let's bring them over here. All right, I think from the front view, we have got somewhat a very basic shape. Okay, but if I try to compare it with this one, okay, it is looking close enough. All right. From here also, we can put it just a bit inwards like this. I think this is good enough. All right. So from front view, we have got some sort of basic shape. If we'll check this into the solid view, okay. Now the from front, it is looking good enough, but from the side and top, it still needs some adjustment. So for the side view, I'm going to switch to edge mode first, and then let's try to get the shape better over here. So let's select these three edges, push them insward like this, and then I'm going to select these edges, push them a bit outwards like this to get that roundness. Okay, now let's do it manually. Okay, let's switch to the vertex. Let's move just this vertex over here. Okay, again, as I told you in the beginning, there is no hard and fast rule. You need to just really observe the shape and adjust it manually. So maybe I think this I need to push a bit inward like this, maybe this one as well, and this maybe like this. Okay, now coming to the side view, let's adjust the shape from here also. So let's select these two vertices, and with the scale tool I'm going to squeeze them like this just a bit. We are going to make tiny changes at the moment. Okay, you should not, you need to patient when you are going to the organic modeling process, and observe the shape from all the sides, whatever the small changes you are making, and then progress gradually. All right, seems good enough so far. Let's check it from the back also once. And if I switch to wireframe view, which vertices are these one? Correct. Only the back ones are getting selected. Or rather, I can select this entire and squeeze it like this. Okay, careful. Alright, so in the center I have left some thickness. Maybe from here I need to adjust a bit more. Okay, so far I'm going to keep the shape like this. Okay, switch to a solid view. Let's check the shape. Looking good so far. So see, you need to observe the shape very carefully, and you need to make those tiny adjustments to get the proper shape over here. I think these needs to come maybe slightly outwards. Okay, Now I have got this basic shape and I'm going to stick to this one only. Now still, if we observe it, okay, yes, of course, it's not looking very much like the lung, but let's try to add some modifiers and see if we can get a better result over this. So let's go to the modifiers over here and I'm going to add subdivision surface to smoothen it out. Okay, the result is much better. Maybe I can increase the number over here for the viewport. Okay, it's 2. Let's keep the modifier as it is and it seems good. Let's right click and choose shade smooth as well. Okay, so it's looking better now, I would say, considering earlier. Okay, I think it is getting there over there. Now still the shape needs some adjustment. Okay, smooth, considering the part of smoothness, it's looking good, but shape still needs some changes over there. Now for this, now I am going to add a new thing by which I can, control the shape more easily. I'm going to go to the add menu over here and I'm going to add a lattice. Okay. Now into the lattice, we are going to go over here in the object data properties and here I'm going to increase its resolution. But before that, let's just scale its size like this and match it up to the size of the lung model which we are making. Let's reduce its height, maybe like this. The top view, of course, it's way too much width. I think this much seems good enough. All right, perfect. Now we have created a lattice around the model and now into this I'm going to add some resolution, basically some segments over here like this. So here I'm going to create 5, here I'm going to create 4 and here I think I can create 4 as well. Okay, maybe one more. Let's stick with 3 for the time being. All right. Now what we need to do is we need to attach this lattice with the lung, and with the lattice actually we are going to control the shape of the lung. So again I need to go to the modifiers, select the lung and I'm going to add a new modifier called lattice. And in this I'm going to select and choose this particular lattice. Okay, there we go. Now what I need to do is I need to select this lattice now and into the edit mode. The edit mode of the lattice. Okay. If I select the vertices and I try to move it, you can see that it is making an effect with the attached mesh, which is the lungs over here. Now with this, actually we get this rubbery, stretchy kind of effect by which we can get those minute changes we want to give to the object. Because if I'll go to the object itself, let's exit, let's select the object over here and into the edit mode. If I try to, so see, you can see that, here instead of deforming the shape, we have attached an extra controller in which we can make the change and it will not affect our mesh. Okay, so instead of adding extra number of vertices and cuts, we have attached an outside lattice by which we can try to modify the shape and it will keep the original shape of our mesh as it is. So let's select the lattice, let's go to the edit mode and let's select these vertices and try to get the shape. So here I think I need more point. One second, where is that? Here it is. So I think here I need to stretch it up outwards like this. Okay, I think the result is a bit better over here. And there we go. So you can see that this, I think this one needs to go a bit outwards. So let's try from this. So you can see that yes, of course, we are getting a bit closer towards the lung shape. there is some gap between for the windpipe. Like this, like this. Here it needs to be a bit pointy, so let's reduce it. Oops. Like this. And there we go. So if, let's do one thing, let's go to the outliner and turn off its visibility. So you can see now the shape is really there, considering it as a real lung. Okay, we can go here also and let's turn on the lattice, select it up into the edit mode, and let's try like this. Let's try to squeeze in a bit more. Okay, small adjustment over here, and at the bottom I think so I need to squeeze it down like this. Oops. And I think seems good enough for the time being. We are not going to make all the changes at the moment suddenly. So there we go. This way we can get this kind of lung shape. Okay, to me it seems good so far. I'm not going to proceed do much editing over here because when the lung is like flattened out, it's like this. When we inhale air, when we breathe in, then it expands. Okay, so that we will be doing later on. Let's stick with the lung like this. So I'm going to keep it up. Now after this we are going to make one more lung, pair of the lung. So for which what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mirror of this lung here itself. But before mirroring, let's adjust its pivot point. That should lie over here because that is the anchor point or the center point from the mirror modifier. Then it will make the copy on the other side. So into the edit mode, let's go over here. Press A to select all, and if I turn on the lattice, it will definitely deform the shape in a different manner. No need to worry about that. Okay, if I'll exit now, you can see that shape has been deformed. So no need to worry, we can select the lattice and we can move this also and you can get the shape. So you can see that how is lattice is affecting the shape. So we will bring this back over here in the center. Now select this. Onto this, I'm going to add a modifier, mirror. And here we go. Onto the y-axis, I have got the copy. And that's about it. Now for the time being, I'm going to keep this mirror modifier here also. Of course, I'm going at one stage, I'm going to apply it and I'm going to detach both the lungs. For the time being, I'm going to stick like that. So for today, this much activity is enough. I want you guys to try to make the lungs like this with the lattice modifier, get the shape. Of course, lungs are not symmetrical. Here we can see that there are some difference. Okay, if it's clearly not visible over here, then you can see that one lung is like a bit squeezed if we observe this image because heart is being placed. So, and of course, to avoid that symmetrical pattern, you should make some changes into the design because in the real world nothing is like perfect, nothing is absolutely symmetrical, at least into the organic thing. So I'm going to detach it later and I'm going to change the shape of this lung so that we can identify the two different lungs over here, and then we are going to proceed to do the next part. So I hope you have learned how to create this lung model. Please try to create this and we are going to meet in the next video. Thank you so much.